Okay, so we're gonna see what could be happening in the near future. Y'all like the video. The shenanigans are hilarious. Like the video. All right. Anyway, wow, arrested and blackmail. What is going on? Yeah, so somebody's involvement in your relationship, you're gaining a new perspective and seeing things from a higher perspective when it comes to somebody who is involved in your relationships or involved in your love life in a very overbearing and controlling way. Some of you could be realizing through a new line of study, which could be esoteric things, occult things, hidden things. When you say occult things, it doesn't mean like weird, crazy stuff. Occult, if you look up the definition, is a word for something that's hidden or shrouded. Okay. So this could just be you researching and studying people's behavior and picking up on a new perspective of how you view these people because of the things that you're observing in them that they try to shroud or hide. Okay. And you have a new perspective on these people because you see that they could be trying to blackmail you, bully you, coerce you, or intimidate you, possibly even make you feel guilty or obligated to listen to them or allow them to be involved in your connection, specifically romantically. All right. You could also be, somebody didn't want me to say that. You could also be seeing someone differently because you may be finding out that they are getting arrested and maybe they don't want you. Yeah, you're cleansing your space from someone who you've been attached to or who has a criminal history, because there's a lot of things that I feel like somebody is hiding from you. So what, guardian angels, archangels, spirit guides, and ancestors of the highest vibration, Father, Mother, God, for the collective when it comes to love, what may happen in the near future when it comes to love and their love life? Therapist. Some of y'all are going to see a therapist. I don't blame you. I love going to therapy when I could afford it. I had several different therapists and we would just chit chat. And I just loved how they would just break me all the way down. Not in a negative way, but like they would break down my behaviors. And I would be like, yes, tell me about myself. Because I'm trying to figure out what's going on, okay? Listen, projection and gratitude. So it says for projection, your life is a projection of the energy you're putting out. Gratitude says show more gratitude. And therapist says someone needs to visit a therapist. Okay, so some of you could be realizing that something is going on. Because honestly, what I'm getting from this projection card is there is somebody projecting on you, making you think, oh, you crazy. You need to go to therapy. You need to be more grateful. You need to appreciate. But I feel like because we saw that blackmail and arrested card with the new view and the researching occult things with the new line of study, there could be a person here who is realizing that they have been dealing with someone who is mentally, emotionally, spiritually unstable. And it's starting to click. Everything is starting to click for someone. I don't know if this is your family member that you are associated with, because sometimes you guys got to understand the dynamics of how tarot readings and energy works. Whoever's connected to you could be connected to this reading. So it may not be about your direct situation, but it may be about someone who is close to you. Some of you may have a friend or a family member or someone who you're involved with, because this, I feel strongly, intuitively, is involving personal relationships that you have with people. And either they are overstepping their bounds when it comes to involving themselves in your life and trying to project some type of reality on your life when they ain't got no business doing that. Or this is a situation that is kind of bleeding over into your reality because you are close to someone who is dealing with this situation behind the scenes. You may find in the near future that some of your family members are figuring out some stuff, because if you're here watching me, more than likely you already have a more tapped in spiritual perspective, or you are becoming enlightened to that in your own way. And it feels like there could be some, similar energy going on with people around you. Like if you have a father figure who was very abusive to your mother and you grew up watching that. Your mom might be starting to realize the projections that are going on and starting to pick up on some things that spirit has been throwing down and finally accepting the reality of her marriage. Possibly your father could be doing that with a horrible mother. Some of you could have cousins or siblings who are doing that with their spouses and relationships. There are people around you who are starting to realize that the illusion is falling away. And you may have been a harbinger for that. You may have been a catalyst for these people starting to realize what's really going on in their life. And I think someone is maybe feeling like you were right in a situation and they need to show you more gratitude because you tried to warn them or you tried to offer some type of therapy in your own way to this person to help them to see the error of their ways. Some of you guys could be therapists. Shout out to y'all. I know a lot of times therapists can get a bad rap and you guys can get the short end of a stick in the situation. But I really think that if you can find a good therapist or a good psychologist to help you with what you're going through, it can benefit your life exponentially. It's not for everybody, but again, I can't say that because disclaimer in the description box. Y'all already know. However, it's either you realizing that somebody has been projecting something onto you that they wanted to make you believe was true, or they wanted to make you believe had some type of power over you, or someone else is realizing this in their own life. There could be a lot of people who are coming towards you because you've been putting out positive energy. I don't know what the heck that was, but there could be a lot of people coming towards you because you've been projecting out very healing and nurturing energy. 111 on the time. It's Wednesday, October 8th, 2025. I've been forgetting to say the date because I be trying to say the dates. But you could be projecting out a lot of positive energy. So if you have people coming to you saying, I should have listened to you. You were right. I'm grateful for you. Thank you for trying to tell me what's going on. Thank you for opening my eyes, collective. You were right all along. Like if you have people coming to you and telling you those things, I feel like a lot of you guys need to realize that you are a catalyst in a lot of people's lives when it comes to them improving their lives and being in a better place. That's love as well, because I'm getting goosebumps. That's a form of love as well. When you see someone suffering or you see someone who's not stupid, but ignorant, meaning unaware of what could be happening in their lives, and you try to do something to help them or change the situation because either they ask you, they come to you, or they're, sending you cries for help subliminally, that is an act of love, okay? Some of you are going to therapy because you know that whatever is going on in your life that's making you question, like, why does this keep happening to me? Is coming from a place within, and you want to figure out, you want to be proactive about your healing and figure out what's going on. And spirit could be saying that there's a need for you to be grateful for more things in your life that are going well. Not to say that you're a bad person or that it's your fault, that you may have been a victim in a situation, but to take accountability and responsibility. And a lot of you guys who are watching this are doing that because you genuinely want for something to change for the better in your life. That's beautiful. What else for the collective when it comes to love? Closing old doors, period. Period, point blank, period. Things that are outdated in your life have no room to stay. You don't have any more beds to offer people a chance to spend the night, possibly literally or figuratively, child. Protection, guarding your heart, waiting before dating again, coming out of your shell while you close these doors. Yeah, rest in peace, buried emotions, let yourself move on, grieve, and let go. Somebody could be getting arrested or locked up or have some type of criminal record for trying to force you to make decisions or do things that you really did not want to do. That could be coming out for some of you guys, and you could be finding out all of the things that they hid from you behind the scenes. You could be finding out someone's true character behind the scenes, whether it's somebody you were dealing with or somebody who you had association with through someone else. What else does the collective need to know when it comes to the near official person? Somebody's reputation is being ruined because their true colors are coming out. Marriage. Wow, I got 2 by accident. Look at that. Poverty and the toil and labor card. So I tell people all the time, they're counterparts in this card. You have the marriage card, which can signify a counterpart, right? Just like, look, this is the wealthy man. There's a card in here that says privileged lady. They're a pair. They're a couple. You have mature man and mature woman. They're a pair. They're a couple. You have main male and main female. They're a couple as well in this particular deck. Okay. But also the toil and labor card and the poverty card are considered coupled together. You can see that one is 37 and one is 38. The poverty card is indicative of the masculine and the toil and labor card is indicative of the feminine energy, but they're both simultaneously in the similar situations, right? If the wealthy man and the privileged lady were together, it's indicative that they are both similar when it comes to their energy, but it just plays out in different ways. So this is a man whose career is going well, or at least it appears to be. There's always a catch in these Kipper deck cards, but he's a man who has a career that appears to be going well. He has business connections. He's networked and, has ability to pull strings. People let him know what's going on. He's looped in on what's going on. Okay. But the privileged lady is a card where the feminine energy is very well off because of her connections, possibly when it comes to family and inheritance and coming from money, being born into wealth, having those same connections, but having them from a different perspective. So there could be someone who is married to someone who they're not like actually from the same place. They could be 2 different races, ethnicities, religions. There's some type of poverty mindset or literally a lack of resources, money, finances, wealth. This is a situation that also could have little to no future prospects. Like there could be somebody in a relationship with someone who really doesn't have any status, or they're not really doing anything with their life. They're possibly a person who is the bottom of the barrel. I don't want to speak negatively, but it's like, this is a person who really doesn't have any future. Like, because of the decisions that they've made, because of maybe where they came from, where they grew up, the fact that they weren't able to overcome adversities that they were faced with in life, they really don't have any prospects as far as like where they can end up or where they're going to go or where they can like reach to be. And that's a personal choice for some people, but for some people it's not. For some people it's orchestrated that way. So I'm not judging anyone for their circumstances, but it's kind of crazy how this came out, because it's like I feel like you guys are trying to get a handle on what's been going on in your life. You're trying to get your life under control. You're trying to have more control over the outcome of situations that happen to you. And there's something about a person not being qualified or equipped or able to do something on their own, and they need to seek some type of professional help. Right? So this could be somebody who is dealing with mental illness. This could be somebody who could possibly, like, I don't know, have some type of issue with their profession. Maybe they're uneducated. Maybe they didn't get a high school diploma. Maybe they didn't go to college. And it's just like, the problem that you have with this person or the problem that you have in this situation is above you, or it's above them. This could be a person coming to you and you don't have the resources or the accessibility to be able to help somebody. So you may be referring them to someone else. Somebody may have gotten a referral to seek professional help. Just know that I am not a licensed professional. The disclaimer is always going to be below. I cannot diagnose anyone, and I cannot act as your therapist because I'm not qualified for that. I'm just reading the cards in terms of entertainment purposes and for my spiritual and what you, I guess, could say religious beliefs. Okay. But I feel like something is above a person's pay grade. There's definitely a contract here. The month of May, June, and July could be significant. So that would be Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, and Leo. 3, 22, 37, 38. Also 10 and 11. What is this when it comes to the near future for love? Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord. The 5 of Pentacles, the 7 of Pentacles, the 6 of Wands, and the Magician. Something is all jumbled up. Somebody is mixing something up that doesn't go together. I really feel like something does not go together, or it doesn't match. Or somebody is not a good match, or they weren't a good match with this person. It's like, it feels like somebody's already married to somebody who isn't a good match. Some of you guys could be getting divorced from a person who is not a good match, or you've already been divorced from them a long time ago, and their life hasn't really gone anywhere. They're still in a position of lack. They're still robbing Peter to pay Paul. And I feel like you are successful, and this person is trying to manipulate your outcomes and situations in your life. I feel like somebody thought you were going to be around for a long time to kind of like help them in their situation. But whatever they're dealing with that they expected for you to help them with is above you. It's above your pay grade. You know, it's out of your jurisdiction. You cannot help this person, or whoever is asking for help of you or someone that you know isn't going to get any help from you or the person that you know, because y'all can't help this person. It feels like maybe you're married to someone who's in an official position, but it's not in the capacity that whoever this is needs for real. Like, there's somebody very manipulative here who works in the shadows and tries to manipulate outcomes and situations to their benefit so that they can overcome adversity, but they don't know how to do it in a way that's actually going to last. They only know how to do it in a very conniving and manipulative way, like the blackmail, like the, very challenging cards of toxicity, lying in court, lying under oath, doing things that they really aren't supposed to do. That's the only way that this person knows how to win, is by playing dirty. I really thought I really feel like somebody thought they were going to win by playing dirty. So they possibly could have manipulated a lot of people. They could have used a platform, social media, or like, I don't know, their family or something to, manipulate. They manipulated a lot of people by creating, it feels like a narrative, or creating this image where they were successful, but really behind the scenes, that's not who they actually are. 6 of Swords. I feel like in the past you gave a lot to this person. I feel like maybe you tried to protect this person, or you tried to help this person or steer them down the right path, but they need to see a therapist. Like, don't feel guilty. I feel like somebody's trying to make you feel guilty for the way that their life has been unfolding. Like, you're in the same group with this person. But with the wealthy man behind that, I don't think that's true. I feel like you're in a boat by yourself. And I feel like this person tries to make it seem like y'all are in the boat together, but I don't see nobody else in this motherfucking boat, to be quite frank with you. Nobody else is in this boat with you. So I'm confused as to how somebody thinks that y'all are in this together. Maybe that's why they mad. I don't know. But I feel like y'all are getting to the bottom of this. This could be a strong Gemini energy with this Magician card. Possibly Libra, Aquarius, Scorpio, Virgo, Aries, Taurus, Capricorn. Any earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. Any air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, strong Gemini. And when it comes to fire sign energy, it kind of feels like possibly Aries, maybe Leo. I don't know. And water, I would say Scorpio or Cancer. I don't know, child. It could be anybody. It kind of feels like you were moving on from someone and they wanted to make it seem like they were the winner. If you decided to get a divorce, if you decided to break up with someone, if you decided to move on from a situation, I feel like they tried to manipulate not only you into thinking that you took a loss, but they also tried to manipulate other people into thinking that you were the loser and they were the victor of the situation. But they did it by delaying something. I feel like somebody's been delaying the finalization of a divorce, or they've been delaying the finalization of some type of like legal documents, paperwork. Maybe you were trying to work something out amicably, but they kept trying to manipulate your ability to leave or move forward and control you. It feels like they wanted to control public opinion of you and like your family's perception of you, their family's perception of you, the public perception, your friends, people who know you. It's like they wanted to manipulate not only how people viewed you and people's perception of you versus their perception of them, but they also wanted to manipulate your mind along with like your finances or something like that. And it just feels crazy. It feels like this person wanted people to think that you were a certain way when you're really not, or that you guys are the same when you're really not. Cause that's we are not the same. That is the crux of this reading. And I feel like in the near future, when it comes to this being like what you can expect, Spirit is guiding you forward through this tumultuous situation. There's something new that you're really motivated and inspired and being very brave and courageous about achieving. And your spirit team is here guiding you through these troublesome, murky waters with this person. And a lot of you are manifesting some type of success that you've been working on for a long time. Some of you are about to get recognition in your job. You may get a better job, a raise, a promotion, a bonus, something where your finances are going to increase, especially if this person has been trying to manipulate you financially. I also feel like this could be recognition or fame when it comes to what you do. And it doesn't have to be on a worldwide scale. It could be local. It could be people recognizing that you were correct or coming and telling you that you were right, getting attention for what you said from the beginning, getting attention for the fact that you were always telling the truth. It's like that type of attention, that type of recognition. So what you can expect in the near future is now someone's credibility is being revoked or tarnished. Their credibility is in question. So someone is not being taken as believable or credible anymore because people are starting to abandon them. People who they've been able to manipulate for a long time are no longer able to be manipulated by this person. So they're losing their credibility because people are realizing that you are two different people and that you are not the same. What else? Yeah, that's what it is. It sometimes take me a minute to get there, but we always arrive, okay? The morning habits card. You may have a morning routine of getting coffee. During your morning coffee run, you may have an encounter with someone. So if you drink coffee or you go to like a coffee spot, you may run into this person. Be mindful because it might not be coincidental. It might be on purpose. Or you could run into someone who tells you like, hey, you know, you could see someone who at one point believed this person, and they may tell you like, I just want to let you know that this person is not doing really well. And, you know, you may be polite in conversation, or I don't know what they're going to say to you, but it gives this vibe that somebody is going to come to you and tell you that you were right, or tell you that they apologize for, you know, maybe not believing your story, or it gives off that type of energy. People are starting to pay attention to someone's habits and behaviors over time. And that's what's causing them to be abandoned by their previous supporters, who now see that maybe they shouldn't have supported them because the behavior is starting to show through. Someone has a strong earth placement, and I don't know if it's Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo, but I feel like that's why it took so long for this energy to be revealed. For those of you who've been dealing with somebody projecting on you, or dealing with somebody trying to cast projections on other people to discredit you, I feel like they had some type of earth in their chart that was working to their advantage, and it slowed some type of situation down from being revealed. Okay. I also feel like if you just are at home, maybe you work from home or you get coffee at work, somebody could be texting you, reaching out to you on the phone. It just feels like somebody's going to tell you something. Yeah, friends and deadline. This could be involving your friend circle. And deadline says a deadline is approaching. Also, a deadline could be missed. So there's a situation here that's coming to an end very strongly. Okay. I feel like the deadline card is indicative of a situation coming to an end. Maybe somebody's going to miss a deadline, so therefore it finally like closes something out, or I don't know, like maybe if you filed something in court to protect yourself from someone negative, they may have had a deadline to respond, and they could possibly have missed that deadline. There could be somebody here trying to distract you from your routine, or trying to get you off track from your routine. But either way, these cycles are coming to an end, and the doors are being closed. There are a lot of things that have been dragged out that are finally coming to an end. I also feel that there's a person here who feels entitled because they are in a particular position and they have certain connections, but it's something about, I don't want to necessarily get y'all all hard about somebody going through something negative, but it feels like someone is going to lose their position with the official person reversed and the 6 of Wands with the 7 of Pentacles and the 5 of Pentacles. It looks like someone is going to lose their accreditation or their license or their position of authority or their access to something because they get fired. I don't know what this is, but it feels like somebody is going to lose their position because they overplayed their hand, or they weren't qualified to begin with. They could have lied on their resume or manipulated things on their resume. And the deadline maybe that they had to clarify this could be coming to an end. It's so interesting. Also, side note for some of you guys, somebody could be acting like just because they're in a certain status in life and you're not, because I mean, we do have the 7 of Pentacles and the 5 of Pentacles, which could also indicate the 2 of Pentacles or the 4 of Pentacles. 7 plus 5 is what? 13, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No, that's 12. That's 3 Pentacles. Anyway, 7 minus 5 is 2. So there could be a person here who is attempting to kind of bogart the narrative of a situation because they have a higher position or a higher status. Like if somebody were to sue a big Fortune 500 company as a regular blue collar person, It would be hard because they have endless buku money to fight you in court and you're just a regular person. It kind of gives that vibe. It kind of gives off this vibe where somebody is acting very like mean or abusive or manipulative when it comes to a situation where they feel like they're dealing with a poor person. I don't know what that's about. But there's some level of protection here that someone has, because it's like, don't assume just because a person is living in a bad neighborhood or, you know, down on their luck, or they have some type of poverty here going on, that they aren't capable to do something or that they aren't somebody important. It's kind of like giving off this vibe that somebody fucked around and found out who they was dealing with, and that somebody like realizes or may find out that a person here has a lot of spiritual power and spiritual protection, even though they don't have financial power or like clout to sway people. I hope that makes sense. Like, don't fuck with don't kick the homeless person while they down type energy. Because whoever this is still got a job. Because period, the toil and labor card and the poverty card are not talking about people who are unemployed. Because there's a card for that. There's a card that says despair. This is not talking about people who are unemployed. This is talking about people who are living paycheck to paycheck or working in bad conditions. Not very well off. And it kind of feels like someone thought they could manipulate a group of people or get the attention of a group of people to turn against you because you were in that position, but they didn't realize you had spiritual protection. So I don't know. Listen, the real official person is coming through. Let me just say that. The real official person is coming through with this King of Swords. It's definitely giving Aquarius vibes. Maybe Libra. But the real official person is coming through. It's like if somebody were to say, oh, look at Collective. They ain't got this. They ain't got that. They drive this car. They work at this place. They live here. They ain't got this. They ain't got that. It's like whoever this was being manipulative as you were trying to, you know, get to a better place in your life or improve your life. It's like, I feel like somebody was trying to kick you while you were down. Anyway, the point of the whole situation is that the real Slim Shady is about to stand up. The real official person is about to step in the room. And I feel like they're telling someone that they either have to stop or that they have to make a payment plan to pay what they owe, or that they aren't qualified to be saying or doing what they are saying or doing, or they're bringing order to a situation that was very chaotic. Okay. What else for the collective? Puzzled. Confused, perplexed, conflicted. Karmics, third parties, haters, learned lessons. Ooh. Cutting ties, freedom, standing up, awakening. That's the closing old doors, and rest in peace. Rest in peace to the haters, bitch. Yeah, there are people who are... So, you know what's crazy? I'm going to tell you right now exactly why this person is losing favor. This person is losing favor. They're falling from their pedestal. You know why? Because the third parties that were involved in this situation, like their friends, their family members, people who they were... I told you they were convincing crowds of people or convincing groups of people to work against you. Or to convince people to do things on their behalf to support them because they wanted them to think that they were right and you were wrong. These third party people, let me tell you what's going on. These third party people are confused as to why things are going badly in their life. Poverty, toil and labor. They're struggling to pay their bills. They're struggling with money. They're struggling with things in their life. The third party people who this person manipulated into supporting them are now having this big fall from grace. And they're like, what the fuck is going on? The karmics, the third parties, are learning their lesson about supporting someone who is negative or who forced them to be, supporters. Like, even if this person made people feel guilty or, brought up some type of old debt, right? Oh, I helped you with this. Collective is trying to come against me and, take me to court. So I need you to support me. And the person was like, well, I don't really want to get involved. And they was like, well, I mean, I'm just saying, I've just been there for you. I've been loyal to you. And, I did this for you and did that for you to make that person feel guilty about supporting their manipulative ass. So whether these people were coerced into supporting this person or whether these people were tricked, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but they're starting to be confused. Like, why is my life falling apart? Why are things going wrong for me? Why am I dealing with resource depletion, financial lack? Why am I feeling drained? Because here go this person siphoning all their energy so that they can get a situation done the way that they want to get it done. That's what's going on. And that's why in the near future, you can expect for this person to lose support, lose allies, and basically ultimately lose their position. That's crazy. The people who helped this person are getting a spanking. And that's why they're abandoning whoever this is. Wow. I don't even know. Bitch, I don't even know what to say. They're being abandoned by all their allies, child. That's crazy. That's crazy. And you're protected from this. Some people are going down with the ship with this person and they jumping off. They trying to get off the boat, child. You took your own lifeboat, even though it had swords in it and leakiness. And maybe you told people like, hey, get in the boat with me. Get in the boat with me. This person ain't no good. We got to get off this ship because it's about to sink. And you might have had people that was like, I don't know. There were people that were questioning you. They didn't believe you. And this is a metaphor for this person manipulating people against your cause. Whatever your cause is versus what their cause was. Your cause was the leaky boat with swords in it. Their cause was the ship that looked like it was more stable, but had a big chunk of it in the bottom missing and it was taking on water. And because of optical illusions, magician, these people didn't see that they were slowly sinking. They thought that you would sink because it appeared and see, this is the crazy part. I just be channeling y'all. These people, because you were honest and open about what was going on, and like maybe you were like, hey, this is what I did. I know I fucked up. I know I did wrong. I know I, had my part to play, but this person had their part to play too. But people were listening to this person play victim and act like you was the one who was always the problem. That's why your boat had swords in it and it looked leaky. Because you were being honest about the things. All your leaks were on display. All of your bullshit was on display. All of your bad habits and, things that you need to improve upon was on display. But that's more genuine than a person with a little boat with swords making little pin pricks in it is more genuine than a person who has a giant vessel with a major hole in it like the Titanic, taking on water, but not telling nobody. And because of the manipulation and the optical illusion, they're on the boat and they're not seeing the perspective of the boat slowly getting close to the water until they start witnessing. Listen, the people on the Titanic didn't necessarily realize it was sinking until that bitch started leaning to the side. Y'all saw the movie. That man was mad. He was walking sideways in that bitch. Because he was mad. But that ship was still sinking. And when it started to finally be clear, that's when people started panicking. And now folks is panicking because they trying to get off that boat. But you gone. But Spirit, you done cried your tears already. Spirit protected you by getting you off the boat and getting you out of harm's way before any of this shit popped off. And I'm just, listen, I can't even help but to be real with y'all about this. So now these people trying to cut ties and be free of this person, finally awakening to what this person is doing and realizing that you stood up to them before. Now they trying to figure out how to stand up to them. But they hands still tied. Them cords still connected. Where you going, Sway? You gonna jump in the ocean? Metaphorically? I don't know. It's a decision that's why it's a decision. It's a decision that they gotta make. And it's not an easy decision. This person, whoever these people are who are helping this person, involving themselves, because that's how I started the reading, ain't it? I started the reading by saying that people were getting overly involved in a situation that you were involved in. And I feel like they was wreaking havoc or causing some problems. And it's like, this could have been your husband or ex-husband, your wife, your ex-wife, baby mama, baby daddy, partner, spouse. Maybe y'all lived together and this person was trying to dog you out and foot you with the bill, whatever's going on. Y'all family was toxic because they believed this person's lies. And I believe whoever this person is who lied to your toxic ass, traitor ass family showed literal documents. It feels like they brought them paperwork and documents and things that tricked the people who were supposed to be supporting you into believing this person's tomfoolery and bullshit. Okay. Listen, I'm telling y'all what you can expect in the near future is that not only are you going to be receiving a lot of I'm sorries and I should have listened and you were rights from these folks, but I feel like you're also going to be much more grateful for the decisions that you made and the fact that you stood your ground, even though it was scary, because your life is about to project all of the work that you've been doing, whether it's personally or in therapy or spiritually, whatever you've been doing to close old doors, heal, move forward, change your life, change your habits, improve yourself is about to be reflected back out to you in the reality that you motherfucking living in. What is the advice? I can't stand liars, y'all. I know I just got heated, but like I had to break that shit down because I can't stand liars. Tiger's eye courage. Told you. We saw the strength card with the Ace of Wands. It says being deeply loved by someone gives you strength, while loving someone deeply gives you courage. This is because you love someone extremely deeply. I don't know if this is custody. I don't know if you had children with this person and you loved your kids so much that you were willing to walk through fire. You were willing to walk on water like Jesus and walk through fire and brave the storm for that child. Kudos to you, mom or dad. Or whether it was a situation where you loved yourself more, like after all of this abuse, you loved yourself more then you loved this person and finally woke up. I don't know what it was, but love brought you here to this salvation. And it is salvation. It's protection. Okay? Your courage to leave something that was fucked up and not to let somebody blackmail or intimidate you led you to salvation and protected you from the consequences and repercussions that folks is about to be dealing with. Okay, sunstone, it's the sun. It says, I'm not pretty, I'm not beautiful. I am as radiant as the sun, which means you are not able to be put in a box. Okay. Black Pearl, gluttony. He who is not contented with that which he has would not be contented with what he would like to have. I feel like this is a situation where Spirit is telling you, yes, remember gratitude. Remember that as soon as you think that someone is in a situation that you could never be in, you may be in that situation. Like, you know how people think, I always say this, once you think you're untouchable, that's exactly when you get touched. As soon as you think you too big for your britches, because that's what I was getting with this vibe of somebody like looking down on a person. As soon as you think you too big for your motherfucking britches, that's when them bitches fall down. As soon as you think you one of the untouchables, that's when you get touched. As soon as you think that nothing, this can't happen to you, or that something can't happen to you, or that's them because they're this or they're that, that's when God shows you, be careful what you say. And I think Spirit is like, okay, there's a lot of people in the spiritual community who really want to see people get karma, and it's unhealthy, and you need to sit your motherfucking ass down because you got your head so far up your ass, you don't know that you're a part of the problem. However, there are a lot of people who understand the dynamics of not only being a person who is projecting positivity out to the universe, but also being a person who sets strong boundaries and doesn't allow people to intimidate them, and knows how to utilize their energy in a balanced way so that they can continue to complete their assignment on this planet. And I feel like that's what Spirit is reminding you to do, right? Because it could have been me. It should have been me. It would have been me if it wasn't for the blood. Okay? So don't forget, you kind of slithered out this bitch because you were attached to this person. So all I'm just saying to you is just make sure that you're grateful for the way that you were protected, and, you know, for the people who helped you in life. Don't dwell on the negativity of this situation. Don't lament over, you know, the details of the situation. Don't get stuck and trapped in the replaying of events over and over to where you don't move forward and make progress. That's what I feel like Spirit wants you to know. Okay, this situation and the time and energy that you spend on this for however many years or month or days or weeks, it's very minute. Okay, that's what this card is saying right here. It's very small. It's minuscule compared to the entire totality of your life. So I just want you guys to make sure you keep things in the proper perspective so that you don't lose sight of how blessed you are to have come out of this situation the way you came out of it, and to have avoided a disaster that could have been much worse. Okay, so be sure to like and subscribe to continue to catch the vibe. Get in the comments, did it resonate? Was I hitting on something? Was I on point? Let me know. Share in the comments whatever you feel like you want to share. If you can, donate or contribute through PayPal, Venmo, or Zelle. Those links are below. And it really does help me bring these readings to you guys unimpeded and uninterrupted. I appreciate your support for everyone who is here. If you want to book a personal, that link is below. Or if you want to check out any of my other channels where I read, you can click the link tree in the description box, y'all. And with that, that's it. That's all. I'll see you next time. Bye.